Thor has the many powerful version in the Marvel comics. You can see that Phoenix King Thor and the Old King Thor, as well as the Mighty Thor and the RUNE King Thor. And one of the strongest powerful version of the Thor character is that RUNE King Thor. So today in this video, let us see about the origin story of the RUNE King Thor, the powerful version for the Thor. At the time of the Ragnarok event means all the Norse god will die and it is their fate, so it is a cycle. Ragnarok event is a cycle. But at the time of the Ragnarok event, Loki makes an alliance to destroy the Asgard. Loki also destroyed the Mjolnir hammer, and Thor, without his hammer, is still worthy. To protect the Asgardians as well as to reverse the Ragnarok event or to destroy the Ragnarok cycle, he wanted many wisdoms or the rune magics. That means he want a knowledge about the past events of the gods. So Thor goes on a journey for the wisdom. At the force appears like a boy to help the Thor with his journey of the wisdom. Force is a force used by the king of the Asgard, and at the name itself says Odin force. That means the force used by the Odin is called the Odin force. Odin force can be channeled by a weapon called the Gungnir, the king's weapon, or the Asgardian's king's weapon. So the Odin force helps the Thor to the journey of the wisdom and shows the Mimir. Well of the Mimir was the place where the Odin sacrificed one of his eyes and gained the wisdom or the knowledge. Went ahead of his father's way. That is, Odin sacrificed one eye, but Thor sacrificed two eyes at the of the Mimir and drank the well of the Mimir and gained the knowledge about the past Ragnarok cycles. The Ragnarok cycles that was happening at the past, and it is a continuous cycle. Through the cycle is not sufficient for the Thor, so Thor hang his head to the Hedrisil tree. Hedrisil tree is also known as the tree of the world. Similar to the Thor, Odin also hang his head to the Hedrisil tree, but Odin didn't die. He was at the path of the death, but literally Thor was died at this process by hanging his head to the Hedrisil tree. And soul was travelled to the hell. Hell was ruled by Hela, the sister of the Thor. But of the hell, the father of the Thor, Odin, helped the Thor to sacrifice the Thor and took him to those who sits above in shadows. Those who sits above in shadow is the powerful beings or the mystical beings in the comics, those for the Norse god itself, and they consume the power or the energy at the Ragnarok events. That means similarly to the what we saw in the Celestial movie, like Celestials at the Ragnarok event, all the Norse god will die. At that time, all the gods' power or the energy will be consumed by those who sit about in shadow. At this time, those who sit about in shadow and all his knowledge will be gained, and those who sit about shadows all know the past, present and the future events that are going to be happening. And after this event, Thor reborns as a RUNE King Thor by possessing the Odin force as well as the rune magic of the Asgard, and become one of the powerful beings of the universe, that is RUNE King Thor. RUNE King Thor faced the first being as the Mangong, the being or the mystical monster with the billion souls. So Mangong is a powerful being with the souls of the billions and has the power of the billions. And even Odin cannot defeat the Mangong being. But RUNE King Thor, by touching his hand at the head of the Mangong, erased the Mangong in the reality. That means how powerful destroyed the armies of the alliance of the Loki and possessed all the wisdom of the knowledge of the ancient runes as well as the ancient powers. So those who sit about shadow gives an offer for the RUNE King Thor, because RUNE King Thor has the power of the wisdom and the power itself. So they offer the RUNE King Thor to have a chair or the team up with those who sit about shadow. But RUNE King Thor offer and destroys the Ragnarok event by the tapestry of the fate, and the Ragnarok cycle will be destroyed also, and all the gods, all the Norse gods will be alive itself. And as the power of the reality warping and the cosmic level awareness and a nigh omnipotent, and he has the omnipresence also, and he is full of knowledge and he is a omniscient. level beings like the one above all and the living tribunal and the eternity and infinity like character. But you can see that in the MCU, the Thanos with the infinity gauntlet, but we have to wait or at the live actions or at the big screen because he is more way powerful than the behind the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Rune King Thor is one of the strongest version of the Thor character. Comment in the comment box, friends. Rune King Thor fights the Arisham the Judge.